That's what I do.
Dodger controversies from Chavez Ravine to lack of community support to the Spanish national anthem being sung. Why don't we do this? Let's kind of work our way to the current controversy. And I thought this was pretty good here, these posts. Cowardly Dodgers, this is from Communal Press. Cowardly Dodgers remain silent as ICE raids terrorize their fans. Then Kiki Hernandez, who is a member of the team there.
Yes.
I may not be born and raised, but this city adopted me as one of their own. I am saddened and infuriated by what's happening in our country and our city. The Los Angeles and Dodger fans have welcomed me, supported me, and shown me nothing but kindness and love. This is my second home, and I cannot stand to see our community being violated, profiled, abused, and ripped apart. All people deserve to be treated with respect, dignity, and human rights. Hashtag City of Immigrants. He says the same thing in English. Now, as of today, there's been no official press release from the Los Angeles Dodgers kind of with any type of statement in regards to the situation here. This is just a single athlete doing this on his own. What are your thoughts, Kenneth?
I love that he said that. And there's a statement of, he didn't even have to mention ICE or Donald Trump, but he mentioned specifically what's going on in our communities and how, he's a supporter and how the city adopted him. I thought that's probably the best statement I've seen from a Latino with some status in our community kind of come up and say something. And hopefully the Dodgers won't make him take it down. But that's kind of what we need, stuff like that. Again, Neza doing what she did. I thought, she asked at first, I just want to sing it in Spanish. And they said no, and she did it anyway. And I thought that was incredibly brave on her part.
Okay, then we're going to go on. Dodger Blue says, believe this makes Kiki the first member of the Dodgers to address the immigration raids. Okay, we read that. The Dodgers, when they see ICE raids throughout LA.
Opening up old wounds, man. They're going to open up old wounds.
So what's happening?
The city of Los Angeles forceful.
So what's happening here, guys, and we'll play this for you, is that there's always been a contentious relationship between the Dodgers, the city council, and the Latino Mexican American community since the 50s. What happened was that when they were still in Brooklyn, they had to, the city council had to create some space to build a stadium. They chose Chavez Ravine, which had neighborhoods living in them. Slowly but surely, they were all relocated. So we're going to play this for you a little bit. Here we go.
Fully evicted over 300 families in Chavez Ravine to build Dodger Stadium. And it's not even all that great of a stadium. After the Dodgers moved from Brooklyn to Los Angeles in 1958, plans were already in motion to build a baseball stadium in Chavez Ravine. It took the city 3 years of fighting with the residents to get everyone out and finally start building Dodger Stadium. While nearly 1,800 families were displaced, around 300 were forcefully evicted. Dodger Stadium then opened in 1962 at a cost of $23 million. The stadium was also home to the Los Angeles Angels from 1962 until 1965, when Angel Stadium opened in Anaheim. Dodger Stadium is the oldest MLB stadium west of the Mississippi and the third oldest overall, behind Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. The city of Los...
Okay, so you're getting a little...
One of the last...
You're getting, guys, I don't know if you're familiar, but you're getting a little bit of kind of recent history. And I think what happened was when Fernando Valenzuela became a Dodger, kind of made it okay for Raza to come back to the stadium. That was kind of like the start of a new era. So now, though, we're just painting the background here, as we say, thread the needle. This is recent, the last couple of days before the singer came and sang. You started seeing protests from attendees at Dodger Stadium. So let's watch.
Mi gente.
So here's another guy. I thought I was about to get kicked out of the game. He had on a shirt, and I guess they were telling him like to.
Por ahí andan las noticias que según quieren deportar a toda la raza trabajadora y les hicimos este corrido con.
I don't want to play the song. FDT, we know what that means.
What does that mean?
Abolish ICE. What's that?
I was being facetious. I said, what does that mean?
Yeah. So I guess they didn't kick him out. They just wanted him to take it off.
You guys are pillars of the city of Los Angeles. Yet right now, we need you more than ever, and you're silent. This entire community was based out of immigrants. You guys have a history of getting the best talent. And where do they come from? Mexico, Cuba, Puerto Rico, all Hispanic, all immigrants. And yet right now with ICE raids happening all over Los Angeles, you guys are staying quiet. You guys are looking at our community as if we're just ticket stubs. You just use our money. We pay and watch you and watch.
Okay, you guys getting the idea there from that gentleman. And another thing that added insult to injury, if you're on, the side of thinking that this is messed up, is that the Dodgers went to the White House and upon Trump's invitation, and here's Kershaw a few months ago giving Trump a jersey. This lost a lot of fans, pissed a lot of people off. So that was recently.
Our World Series.
And now you have, what's this guy, Kimmel, talking about this as well.
Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers today met the draft Dodger in chief at the White House. It was a unique opportunity for the franchise that signed Jackie Robinson to meet the president, who had him removed from our government websites. You know, a lot of fans are wondering why the Dodgers organization, the Dodgers players, would have anything to do with Trump, why they would go. We have to remember we had a big fire here at the beginning of the year, and Donald Trump is the one who, 5 days after the fires went out, turned on an imaginary valve and sent millions of gallons of water hundreds of miles away from here. So we owe him. We at least owed him this. So the team showed up, and you could tell Trump was appreciative because he seemed to have, I don't know if you watched the whole World Series, he seemed to have a deep and specific understanding of what the Dodgers accomplished last season.
All year, the Dodgers faced down adversity. You entered the...
Getting the idea there. Also, too, some people didn't like this answer from Roberts. He was asked if before the game he had any thoughts on the ICE protests against ICE in Los Angeles. No, Roberts said, I don't know quite enough. People were upset because, well, he knew a lot when it came to Black Lives Matter. They took the knee. They did all the pomp and circumstance around Black Lives Matter. What about the Latinos? So people were bringing all that up. So this is a lot, not just one incident. And now on this woman here, she got kicked out. All right. Let's get your thoughts on everything I just showed you, Kenneth.
Well, it's like I said earlier. Like the Dodgers didn't have to say anything. But if they would have just let Neza sing that national anthem in Spanish, that's how they just had to do that. If they just did that one thing, I think that would have made a big statement to the city and to Dodger fans. To me, they're just I get as an organization why you don't want controversy, but then the controversy becomes, why aren't you speaking out? We're not complaining that the Toronto Blue Jays aren't saying anything. We're complaining that the Los Angeles Dodgers aren't saying anything. It's based in LA. This is going on right now. We should be talking about, Ohtani pitching tonight. That's what we should be talking about. And but instead, it is coward and it's cowardly. And I like that they mentioned the fact that they did support Black Lives Matters. They do support LGBTQ, which they should. But why is it when it comes to our people, we can't muster support from our leaders and our celebrities? And why is that such a controversial stance? So the people in TV, are silent. I'm talking about Latinos in TV are silent, and it really says a lot about our industry, which is already in the toilet for a bunch of reasons. But I'm like, what are you saving it for? Because there's no work anyway. Like, let's just speak our truth, and whoever supports you, supports you. Eva doesn't have to worry about anything. She got a $50 million grant from Jeff Bezos, so maybe that's why she won't say anything.
Okay, so this is where I disagree with you and with Brandon on this one. Okay, we're gonna bring up Neza right now in a second.
All right,
but in regards to the Dodgers pandering to the different audiences, gay night, black night, I don't know what. You know what? None of that should be happening. It should be funny balloons for kids nights, ice cream night, baseball night, bobbleheads, and that's it. And that's it. And that's a lot, right? Because we go back to this, because once you start pandering to one group and that group and that group, when shit hits the fan, they're going to come after you. Say, where were you? What's up? Because you weren't just being the baseball team. You're, I'm this for that community and that for me. And okay, all right. Just know when shit hits the fan, like I did a few years ago with the Christians going with the LGBT, with them going to the White House because it was Trump, you're gonna get backlash. That's all I'm saying, Kenneth. Is you know what? You're a baseball team. We're giving you money to entertain us playing baseball. Just like you said, we should be talking about Ohtani pitching. Absolutely right. We should be talking about what an amazing sport this is. It's got people from all over the world playing on our team. This is great. This is it's for the kids too. And I'm not saying like, I think you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I disagree. I agree with a little bit with what you're saying in terms of that. But like
helmet night. Hold on. Someone said helmet night. Hold on. Hell yeah, big dog.
Nice.
Bro, and let's make myself big real quick. As much as I love these, right? I'll be willing to. This was on Dia de los Dodgers night. Got this beautiful bobblehead.
Amazing.
Look, and it had the artwork and everything, and it was sponsored probably by like some tequila company. I don't drink. I'm 10 years sober, but it's like I could live with that because I wanted to get the bobblehead. You know what, Kenneth? I'd almost say, you know what? If it means you can just be a baseball team, we don't need the Dia de los Muertos, night.
I just think the Dodgers are more than a baseball team. They are a representative of the community, and are supported by a community that's under attack. That's where I disagree with you in terms of them being silent.
Okay. What do people have to say in regards to the Dodger stuff, Fletcher?
Let's see. We got Robert Escobar show. Who represents the bat?
Yeah. All right, we'll take this one. I think this one
was.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm surprised the Dodgers haven't been singing the anthem in Spanish years ago, says Wax Wither.
Well, what's funny is that, and I didn't get a chance to reach out. Our friend Andy Vargas, the lead singer of Santana, he sang the national anthem there, and he, sang it in English. I didn't even know there was a Spanish national anthem. Right. So,
and the thing is, who are you like? If in that moment, who are you offending? You're going to offend someone in Florida or Texas watching the game at home. But you're not offending the people that are there at the game and the people that are watching in LA. you know. So I think, you know, that's the other thing. It's just like it would have been an incredible gesture.
Okay. Anything else on the Dodger stuff?
Look what Van was talking about the lady.
The
That's
singer?
not brave. That's narcissist.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ludwig.
I don't think so.
they-
She got banned from Dodger Stadium. There was a price.
The Equalizer just wish to enjoy baseball game. Speak out about what other than baseball.
I would have to agree, man, because even with everything you said, Kenneth, and I believe in what I believe you believe. What, like I believe you. Like I believe you're honest and authentic in that. I want to go to Dodger Stadium to just deep dive and nerd out on stats and homers and strategies of baseball. Nothing else. Nothing
But
else.
you can do that. The national anthem is 2 minutes at the beginning of the game, and then you can.
Right,
And then
but this is causes, but this is just, it's not just this, you know that, right? She made a political statement by singing.
look, I had to.
She said it. Para mi gente. She made that statement.
Understand, but my son graduated from Glendale City College last Saturday, and he wanted to go,
Congratulations.
thank you. He wanted to go to Bob's Big Boy. This is when everything was starting. He wanted to go to Bob's Big Boy in Toluca Lake. So there was
come on.
There's 8 of us. Yeah, exactly. I go, what do you want to eat? He's I want a hot fudge cake. I go, I'm gonna get the same damn thing. That's what we're having for dinner, right?
Yes.
So I'm not, I couldn't have written this anyway. We are literally getting there. We got there around 9:30. They sit us at a booth. There's a guy wearing a full-on Trump shirt and hat at Bob's Big Boy. And then my father-in-law, who's very anti-Trump and speaks Spanish, and his Spanish-only speaking wife was with us, sit back to back with him. And I just had to deal with it. I didn't say anything, and I was hoping he wouldn't say anything if he heard my in-law speaking Spanish. But, you know, we're in Toluca Lake. I was like blown away by it. Like, I was like, we're not in the South. We're not in Texas, you know, and that's fine.
And just so if people know that Toluca Lake is right next to Studio City, Warner Brothers, Universal City. Like, this is like
Walking distance from Warner Brothers.
liberal bastion central.
Yeah. And he was there, and his
Right.
buddy were there. And I don't know, you know, if he was doing that to be provocative or what, but he didn't say anything to anybody. So that was good. But I just had to deal with it. And I guess what I'm saying is, if you go to Dodger Stadium and you hear the national anthem in Spanish, it's over in 2 minutes, and then you can enjoy the game.
All right, but it wasn't just about that. It was about what was going on behind it. Dominican American artist Neza sings the national anthem in Spanish despite Dodgers' objections. The official Star Spangled Banner in Spanish at the Dodger Stadium, even after being told not to. The Dodgers, still quiet. Kike and Becky G have stepped out, urging the Dodgers not to turn their back on the community. Let's listen in.
Today, so I'm not sure if that wasn't trans or if that wasn't relayed. Okay, we are going to do the song in English today.
This is Neza saying, "Pa mi gente, I stand with you. Yesterday was easily one of the scariest days of my life. She was scared. I sang El Pendón Estrellado, the official Spanish Star Spangled Banner, commissioned by President Roosevelt at the Dodgers game after being told I couldn't. I'm so proud that I did that. Stay safe, stay strong. I love you."
All right, bear with me because I'm still very shooken up and emotional, and Anyways, I just got home from singing the national anthem in Spanish at the Dodgers game, and it is the official Star Spangled Banner in Spanish. You can Google it. So I'll just read it to you really quick, but it was officially commissioned in 1945 by the U.S. State Department as a part of President Franklin Roosevelt's Good Neighbor policy to foster a better relationship with Latin America. Because of this, I didn't think I would be met with any sort of like no, especially because we're in LA and with everything happening. And I've sang the national anthem many times in my life, but there was today out of all days. I could not. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just could not believe when she walked in and told me no. But I just felt like I needed to do it. Para mi gente. All right, bear with me.
Right
Okay,
on.
let's see. What do you have? What are your thoughts, Kenneth?
Right on. You know, she did her homework too, which is great. You know, and I, you know, look, my business is people, and I know we had a comment. Someone said, "Oh, it's narcissistic." I'm seeing someone who's hurt and genuine, who did her homework, and it was for being as young as she is to do a gesture like that. To me, said more.
She's in her 30s. She's in her 30s. She's not like
30s. Okay.
Yeah.
She was that, but even to do that at this time and have the courage to do that, not knowing what the consequence would be at. I take my hat off to her. It's more than any of our other celebrities have done.
Oh God, man. Fletcher. I know, man. I'm like, Fletcher, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because she brings up the history of the Spanish national anthem, and it's just correct. But that part of the other history is that it was supposed to be used in foreign countries to promote America, not to be used in America. And in a complete different take, the same day they had NASCAR in Mexico City, and they had little kids, little kids from school sing the national anthem in English in Mexico, and it was beautiful. But people got to politicize, so it is what it is.
I like the way the UFC, for whatever you think of Dana White handles their fighters. Is that they don't fine them. They can say anything they want after they win or during their, there's it's freedom of speech. And you'll hear fighters, they'll tell you what side they're on both sides. And he's got an open policy. I don't know can we find out, Fletcher, if she was paid to go and perform? Because if she is, then
she was a thing. Yeah.
Well, can you find out for me for sure? Because if that's the case, Kenneth, then you're a freelancer for the day for the Dodgers,
right?
And it's like, hey, can I sing in Spanish? Well, let me get back to you. Oh, you know what? We'd rather you didn't.
Right.
And she did anyways.
I don't have a problem with it.
I know you don't have a problem with it. I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to shed. Just trying to see this from a different angle. Is that
for sure? But they could.
And then you go and then okay, go on.
I'm just gonna say, if they paid her and she did that, and they decided not to pay her, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But they did ban her. I mean, it did cost her something. And she's banned from Dodger Stadium. If that happened to me or you, I mean, could you imagine not being able to go to a Dodger game ever again? Because you sang, because you wore the wrong hat, or you brought the wrong sign, or I just thought it was. I felt like this. We wouldn't be talking about this at all, at least in this controversy, if Dodgers just said, yeah, absolutely, go ahead, and then she gave the context as to when she did. It would have upsetted the right-wing media. They would have made a bigger story about it. But I think in terms of our community, it would have been a huge, just a huge recognition by the Dodgers that they're recognizing that our community is in pain right now.
So far, there's no.
Go ahead, Fletcher.
So far, there's no thing that shows that they get paid. They keep it on the hush or something. But it does say that usually they get some kind of compensation. Most volunteer, but there's benefits like tickets, exposure, and promotional opportunities and things like that supposedly go along with it.
Yeah, I would think so. They definitely thinks it punches up your career. You know, if you're promoting something, if you're up, and it's also an honor to sing the national anthem. I mean,
I thought she sang it with emotion, and you know, if she had sang the Mexican anthem, then we would be having a different conversation.
Oh, or well, she's Dominican,
or the Dominican. But I'm just saying, or if she sang the Dominican, if she sang any other national anthem other than the Star Spangled Banner, we'd be having a different conversation. But she chose. It's like she said, it was commissioned in Spanish in the 1940s under FDR, and she did her homework. I thought there was some care put into what she was wanted to do.
Fletcher, what are people saying in the chat in regards to these Dodger controversies and her singing? And yes, Paul, I agree with you. Hey, thank you, Julissa. What else?
Don. Oh, she agreed with you on we don't need politics in sports.
It wasn't political.
No, I was talking about when you're doing the different nights to different people.
Right.
Someone's, not only is someone going to get offended, as sooner or later when the shit hits the fan, they'll say, "Hey, where were you?"
Well, just going back to that, like the other point I wanted to make was, I don't have a problem with them doing a trans night, but I don't have them problem doing a Christian night either. That's where we get into the problem, is that people will protest one night over another. It's the same thing as when Homeboy was taking a knee. I'm like, absolutely, he should be able to take a knee. But also when Tim Tebow was praying on the field, I didn't have a problem with that either. So my thing is, you can do one and do the other.